So hi everyone, we're talking today to the winner of the Rex Crossley Award here at the March meeting 2017 in Budva, Montenegro, Mr. McMahon from AMSI, Ireland. And we have some questions that we would like to ask you. You mentioned being inspired by the Rex Crossley Award at the March meeting 2016 in Malta. So ask yourself if you had the intended impact. How did this influence your activity?
Yes, Dominic, it's a really good question, and to be honest, it completely changed the course of the project that we had to that point. So up until that point, we've been on a course of a Med-Day project, which is a much smaller scale project, which really didn't have those kind of outcomes that we wanted, which we then had with Déan Athrú. So I always remember looking back at Aurora from Estonia, her project on developing sign language for a specific subset of the Estonian deaf population, and really that kind of captivated us, and I think I've shown that in 10, maybe 15 presentations around different local committees around Ireland to get people kind of in tune with IFMSA and the opportunities that exist with it. And really it was such a kind of a clean-cut project that she had, which inspired myself. So she had, again, those 6 different goals that go into making a project successful. And it kind of really just showed us that the opportunity of IFMSA through the Rex Crossley Awards can allow you to get your project and your ideas out onto not only the national stage but the international stage, and that allows for idea sharing and kind of replication, and allow other medical students from other countries to kind of take into account what you've done and try and implement it in their own country and local community.
What is the future of your activity?
Yeah, so in the immediate future, we've actually already started on the 2017 project. So we had submissions in about what topics that we tackle in 2017. Because of the nature of Déan Athrú, we have a different topic for each year. So last year was youth mental health. This year it's focusing on ageing and kind of looking at it in a biopsychosocial way and the various different aspects of ageing that come with that manner of looking at it. So we've already looked for consultation from all of our local committees, so we've expanded from one local committee in Galway to all of our local committees around the country, and it's kind of, we're hoping that maybe the exposure that we get from something like this, the Rex Crossley Awards, will build on those local foundations that we've built around the local committees, and will hopefully allow us to have next year 6 or 7 Déan Athrús as opposed to just one, and we'll be able to change the tagline from Déan Athrú making a change in the West to Déan Athrú just making a change. So that's kind of the goal.
What would you advise other NMOs that would like to start this activity to do?
Yeah, so again, that's really important, we think, kind of replication-wise of our project. What recommendations would I give? It's kind of basically, firstly, to focus on the idea. The idea of any project has that trickle-down effect to every other aspect, your goals, your objectives, your replication, your evaluation. If you don't have a firm and positive-looking idea that can engage people, volunteers, the public, your target groups, you're already not going to be onto a winner. Secondly, with Déan Athrú, what we've done is created a brand and an entity that's identifiable to volunteers, to say our target groups, the public, year after year. And because we have that fresh focus each year, kind of changing topics, we're able to make sure the project doesn't get stale, so that there's a fresh focus annually. And that, I think, is really important, because it liaises very importantly with the idea, in that if the idea changes and stays fresh, then the project stays fresh in total and can kind of grow in strength from year to year as opposed to languishing on past successes.
You have a number of different goals, from education to atmosphere and advocacy. Can you explain how all of this fits together?
Yeah, absolutely. So really how they all fit together is because we've taken a look at a problem and an issue and liaised with local people and even the kind of the youth of the region, and they've identified all of those issues as being the barrier to them accessing services. So really where our goals came from is feedback from what people are saying, where the problem's on the ground. How they link together is the fact that if you take any one of those issues in isolation, you're not going to get a proper grasp of the problem and be able to kind of build a project that can counteract those problems. So what I'm saying is that if you don't have, say, proper education about different mental health problems and different mental health issues, it's very difficult to build an awareness for people of what services are available if that education doesn't exist in the first place. People will only be able to avail of services if they know what's going on with themselves or their peers or their family members. So in isolation, these things won't work, whereas when they combine together, they can combine to make a good outcome in projects. And really we're getting that constant feedback from our charity partners and from the professionals on the ground to make sure that we are still pursuing the right goals and ideas, because we weren't experts at the start of this project and we still aren't now, so we still need to look for the professionals to assist us in what we do.
Which methods do you use to teach about mental health to young kids?
Yeah, so this was personally my favourite part of the project, was actually engaging with children ranging from the ages of 12 up to college students, so 18 to 25, and being able to say taper our resilience workshops from primary school to secondary school to kind of university students or college students, and being able to find the different levels to pitch our ideas at. So how we were able to teach them about it is to focus on mental resilience. So we were able to build a mental resilience program with psychiatrists and with professionals working in the region to identify to us what the problems were for young people in that region, and as a result we were able to then taper what we wanted to teach them off of that feedback. There's no point addressing issues and problems that don't exist. We have to do it like off evidence-based medicine essentially. So we were able to then build up a kind of a student-friendly interactive workshop which wasn't didactic at all. It was liaising with the students and kind of looking for their input more so than us telling them what to do, because oftentimes when you put people in a position where they can give their points of view and their honest opinions, they'll give you the answers. So that's what we kind of wanted them to let us know about what they wanted in their region for themselves and for their peers, as opposed to us telling them you should do this, this or this.
What does this recognition mean to you?
It means a huge amount, to be perfectly honest, because I suppose it links back to that question that Dominic had about where we got kind of our inspiration from our project. It originated really in the Rex Crossley Award, so kind of to be here at the pinnacle of it is a huge moment personally, but also then say for the over 450 volunteers that we had throughout our action week and throughout the duration of the project. I think it kind of instills to them that it wasn't something that they sacrificed in the short term, i.e. they're kind of a part of building this project and building this brand, not only for that year but for years to come. So that success, I think, not only for me, would mean a huge amount to them, and indeed to all of the participants who took part in all of our workshops and everything. They've made it the success that I hope that it kind of is today. So yeah.